Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and to another Transformers review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Studio Series 8607 Dinobot Slug, or Slag, and Daniel Witwicky from the original 1986 Transformers the movie. And whoa, this guy is big. I mean, I don't know if it's just the packaging making him look that big, but he does look huge. So right, let's have a look at the packaging. It's the usual Studio Series packaging, but you do have this really nice piece of artwork of Slag on the front there. I am going to be referring to him as Slag because that's his name. I'm not having this. Besides, you know, I'm British. We've been using that word for decades, so it doesn't bother me. So yeah, anyway. So you get the artwork there, and you get a picture of Daniel up here. I don't recall Daniel riding on Slag in the movie. And on this side you get another bit of artwork. On the back you get the product shots, and this does look like it's another wheelie situation where the accessory has no articulation to speak of, but yeah, alright. And if I can get it to move, we've got 86 here and that same bit of artwork. Once again, it just says Transformers the movie on the top and the usual guff on the bottom. Right, so let's crack this big boy open and see what we think of him. Right, so here's Slag out of his box, and I have to say I have mixed feelings on this one. At first I thought, oh, he's awesome, and then there's just a few little nitpicky things about him that I'm not over the moon about, but let me get to that in a minute. Let's have a look at what it comes with. So obviously it comes with instructions, and yeah, it's, you know, they're instructions. They haven't changed, have they, in the last few years? So yep, just instructions. And he comes with a blaster, which is pretty nicely detailed. Looks pretty good. It's just done in a grey. It looks like it was done in the same grey plastic that his arms are cast in, and then it was painted over. Personally, I think I would have preferred if they'd have left it that grey, because I think that looks nicer, and then just given it a wash, and then we would have had a nicer blaster. I think, in my personal opinion, I don't really care for the colour that's on this. I might strip that back and just do what I've said, just leave it that colour and just give it a wash, because I think it'd look nicer. But otherwise it's nicely detailed, and the paint isn't bad on it. I mean, it's okay, and it's it seems to be a slightly pearlescent paint as well, so it's not terrible. Just personally I prefer this colour. And then we get this thing, and this is, I think this is the thing I dislike most about this set. What is the point in this? I mean, this to me is wasted plastic. It's crap. It's just a piece of crap. I mean, I've got the wheelie one here, so here's the wheelie one. And I didn't mind the wheelie one, because the wheelie one, I mean, you know, it's wheelie. It looks like wheelie, at least. You know, it's got a nice little face on it and everything. I didn't review this set because I got this when I was working with Simon over at Fingers on Plastic, and he reviewed this set. But yeah, I actually don't mind the wheelie. I think he's okay. But this Daniel figure, my biggest problem with it is he's got no face. It's just a big lump of white plastic. He has no face. He's got no. If you didn't know who this was, if you gave this, like I showed this to my mum, and she said, "Who's that meant to be?" And then I had to explain that it's Daniel from the film, and she was like, "Well, he's got no face." Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just. Do you know what I would have rather? I would have rather not had this piece of crap, and I would have rather that they fill in these horn pieces, because this bothers me a lot. I don't mind having empty spaces where they need to be, but that didn't need to be there. And I'm not going to display this. I'm not going to have it riding on Slag's dyno mode. I've no interest in this piece of crap. It's going to go in a... Actually, I'll probably just chuck it in the loft, because it's one of these things I don't even care if it gets melted, because it's just rubbish. It's just... But yeah, I mean, if you are interested in it, I'm sorry, I've just been banging on about how crap I think it is, but if you are interested in it, it is pretty well painted. It does kind of look like the exosuit. I mean, maybe if they'd had it so you could bend the knees, I wouldn't hate it so much, but it's just in this position as well, so there's just nothing you could do with it. Yeah, I'm not going to spend any more time on that, so you know, that's what I think of that. So let's have a look at the main event. And yeah, he's alright. He's not bad. He's not as good as I was hoping he would be, but he's alright. Let's have a look at him close up. He's quite a tall boy. So I like the head sculpt. I think the head sculpt is really good. The painting in the eyes is lovely as well. It's that nice metallic blue. I mean, it definitely looks like Slag. I just have a few issues with his transformation. The main issue I have with him in his robot mode is this floating head. That just, if you try and pose the head, you just push it back down. This piece that it sits on, it doesn't tab in anywhere. Which is weird, because you have to move this piece down, this front piece. You have to bring it down for transformation anyway, and there's a tab hole there. So I don't understand why there's no tab on the front of this. Yeah, that bothers me, because it doesn't hold otherwise. It just, every time you try and move the head, it just... Which is fine if he's going to a Metallica concert, but it's just... Nah. I'm yeah, that's bothersome, that. But otherwise, he's alright. The design's pretty good. There's a nice Autobot logo there on his chest, and I think that piece is the same. Yeah, that's the same colour. It's the same paint as the gun. But that looks alright there. I don't have an issue with that there. And then he's basically just grey and red for the most part, with a few painted details. He's got some nice bits here on his knees. Nice bit of detailing in here. Again, would have been nice maybe if they'd have just put a wash over that, just to pick out some of those details. And then he's got some gold feet. If you flip round to the back, you can see more of the gold there. We'll see more of that in dyno mode. We'll cover that more when we get to that. And then you can see it's just the top of his dyno head there. So yeah, he's pretty good. He's nice. He's nicely done. All the joints are fairly tight, so that's good. So speaking of, let's do the articulation. Now, like I said, this head is a bit of a... Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this without it. Hold on, let me pull this down. I'm going to have to just hold on to this for a minute. So it is on a ball joint, so you can get him to look up a wee bit. Let's just focus that again. I mean, if you use that floating piece, then you can have him look quite far up. He doesn't really look down at all. You can't... I mean, this has always been a problem with Slag. I don't have an issue with this, but you can't really do anything side to side, but you can rotate it. So, yeah. Let's put that back for now. His arms, weirdly, are on ratchets. I'm not quite sure why, but they will go all the way around. Catch on there. And they go in and out to the side. And then when you move them out, you do get this nice detail under here as well. I do like that. Yeah, I don't really understand why that's on a ratchet, but there it is. He's got this bicep rotation, and he's got a double jointed elbow, which is quite nice. And I've just realised I've got his hands the wrong way around. So his hands can rotate. You have to have them that way around for transformation. I forgot to move them back. Oops. Anyway, he's got a a whist. Oh, for goodness sake. He's got a waist swivel every time without fail. His legs go that far forward, again on a ratchet. And it's weird, it's a ratchet to the front, but then it's really soft to the back. I don't know how they work that. But yeah, it goes that far out to the back. You go all the way out to the sides. Upper thigh rotation. And, well, it is a double joint due to transformation, but you can get it go that far on the knee. And then you get tilt on the toes, but there's no like forwards backwards on this one. It's just a tilt. I don't know if this happens with everybody else's, but this backpack keeps unpegging from mine, which is slightly irritating because it's supposed to just plug in there, but it keeps dropping down. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, he's well articulated. He's nice. He's good from that point of view. So let's just put him over there. Now, I didn't notice this until I just brought my Grimlock down. And this is going to bother me, but where's my Grimlock? There we go. He's taller than Grimlock. I mean, not by much, and it looks worse because of the way that Slag has the Dino mode upper head up there. But yeah, he's ever so slightly taller. It's not much, it's a fraction. But I had really hoped that we would get a Grimlock that was maybe that much bigger. Oh, that's a bit much. So about that, just so that he's large enough. But yeah, he's not. He's ever so slightly shorter than Slag. Again, it's not a huge issue. I had been planning to have these in Dino mode anyway. That's the way I've had my Grimlock since I've got him. It's been in his Dino mode that whole time. But yeah, it would have been nice if the Slag had been just slightly smaller, or the Grimlock had been slightly larger. But again, it's not a huge issue. I just wanted to point it out. Pardon me. For a more G1 take, or comparison rather, I should say. There we go, there's the original. So, you can see, that isn't my original Slag. I got that on a car boot sale for 50p. Actually, I think it was the same car boot sale that I'd sold a load of other stuff on, but yeah, so I've got no weapons or anything with it, but you get the idea. So yeah, and now if you do want a more toy look, you can actually do that, and it is in the instructions, but it's not like pointed out in the instructions. Actually, I'll do it in a minute, but yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, he's definitely more anime accurate than he is toy accurate, but you still have those nods from the toy there, especially the way his feet look down here and everything. So that's that. Let's get that one out. Oh, just put him down there. And you can obviously get Slag to hold his weapon in either hand, and he holds it very tightly. So yeah, so he's alright. Yeah, he's alright. It's just that Daniel that I really hate. Yeah, I just don't see the point in that. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, he looks alright. Looks alright. I just wish they'd done something about that floating head. That's annoying. Alright then, well, let's get him transformed up and we'll have a look at him in his beast mode, or his dino mode, you know what I mean. Right, so let's start with just getting rid of the gun, because we don't need that now. So, now I will say, every time I touch this, one or both of these wing pieces pops off for me. So yeah, that's another nitpick I have with the figure. But anyway, right, let's have a look at this sort of semi-toy look if you want to do it. So just come around to the back, and this is part of the transformation, but like I say, it's in the instructions. Once you've read the instructions, you're like, oh yeah. So lift that bit up and then pop the foot to the side, and then you're just going to rotate this piece out, and then put this back down and bring that back up, and there you go. You can have the You can have the leg, the dino mode leg sticking out the side if you want to do that. For me personally, I prefer the anime look, so I will have it the way I've just had it. But as I say, that's just part of the transformation anyway. But yeah, so let's try and get this backpack out of the way. Yeah, let's carry on with the transformation then. So you want to do the same the other side. So lift it up, bring that out, rotate that, boop, boop, and that is how that goes. And then you're just going to want to rotate out the waist, and there it goes. I don't know why mine just keep popping off. This whole backpack is really floppy on mine as well. I can't get anything to stay in place. It just, every time I try and hook everything up, it just all pops back out again, and it's just, because it's meant to go in there, you see, and it's meant to hold in up there, but it just keeps popping down. It's meant to sort of, that's how you're meant to have it. But mine just keeps dropping down and sort of flopping about all over the place, which is a bit of a shame, but well, there you go, what can you do? I mean, this is not the way that the instructions say to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it because I just thought it was easier. So if it hasn't already done so, just move that out of the way, because it's going to flop about like nobody's business anyway. And then you're going to want to bend these legs up like so, and then you're going to bend them so the foot ends up under here, like that, and do that the same on the other side. Just bend it up at the pelvis, bring it all the way down, just have it sit under there like that, like so. I don't think I've got that one quite right. Yeah, I think that should do it. So you're gonna end up with that. And then what you need to do here is you're going to bring down the whole section, the whole tail section, and these faux feet pieces, they're just going to cover up these two pieces here. So it's probably already flopped off anyway at this point, so just bring that all the way down like so, and then hopefully, if you've got the legs in the right position, which I haven't, you need to push them all the way up, that will just rest over there. It doesn't tab in, it just sort of rests, and then you're just going to want to bring that whole section down. That's supposed to go between the legs, and then I don't know if you can see here, there's a slot there and there's a tab on the side of the tail, so you need to get those in there, and that's the sort of, it's a little bit fiddly, but it's not too bad, they said. And in you go. Oh, because I said it wasn't too bad, it's going to play me up, isn't it? Come on, you. There we go. Now the other side doesn't want to go in. Come on. Yeah. That's it. There we go. So you end up with the tail like that, and that's basically the back section done. Don't bring those down just yet, because you need to do some stuff at the top first. So you come back up to the top, and what you're going to do here is this piece that we brought down earlier, just going to bring that down, and then you can see the bottom half of the face is down here. So you're going to rotate that in, the robot mode head, and then you're going to bring that whole section up like so. And what you need to do here now is you're going to collapse in these shoulder pieces and chest pieces. They're on a hinge up here, and just bring that head up a bit, and then what you're going to do is you just want to wiggle them in so they meet in the middle, and I found this to be very fiddly. So is that one in? Just go. What you need to do, you see, is you need to have these, the bottom halves of the frill, you need to get that to match up. Let's come back to this side, because this side's not quite right. There we go. And then they're just going to rest together like that. They don't tab in or anything, they just rest together. And then you fold this piece back up, and that should hold that all in place. And then you're just going to put these frill pieces together. There's a large and a small tab that just sort of go in together like so. And that's the same that side. And you're going to want to bring these dino legs down, and at this point you can bring these wing sections down, and there is a tab hole here and a tab here, so you're just going to line those up, and you need to get it around this piece as well, and that should now just peg in. Yeah, there we go. Do the same the other side. That's all pegged in now, and then we can just do the finishing touches. So you come to the hands and you have to rotate them. They have to be upside down or else they won't fold in, and then you just push them in like so. Side there, like so, and then just orientate the legs, and then finally we can flip out the rear dino legs like so. So, and there you have Slag in his dino mode. And, yeah, he looks pretty good in his dino mode. He's not the best Slag, but he's alright. He's not terrible. He looks pretty good. If you want to, you can finish off the tail by using his gun. But I find this looks a bit weird, so you plug his gun just in that hole there, like so. But then the problem that you have is that the rest of his plating here is in gold, and then it suddenly goes to this strange sort of colour. So yeah, I don't know what the thinking was for that, but yeah. And of course we've not got him quite orientated correctly, because dinosaurs would have never have stood straight up on their legs. So let's move his legs a bit so they look a bit less robot and a little bit more dino. Just get them like so. I mean, this is all personal preference. You don't have to do this. If you want him standing straight up, then, you know, have him standing straight up. But yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Now he looks a bit more dinosaur-y. Yeah, he's pretty good. I do quite like his dino mode. My biggest bugbear with this though is the hollow horns. I'm going to have to fill these in because I just think that looks horrible. I really don't like that. Oh, yeah, this was the thing on mine as well. There's a couple of tabs that line up on the inside here. Mine just don't want to line up. I had this trouble. And when I try and line them up, there you go, look, you can see it there. When I try and line them up, they just don't want to go in. I don't know if it's just on my copy. I mean, it's alright on this side, but this side it just doesn't want to go. So I might have to try and then that comes off. Oh, there we go, that's got it. A bit more force required than I would have liked. So I'll put that back on. Put that down under there. There we go. Now it's properly transformed. See, you get nothing if not consistency on this channel. I consistently manage to muck up the transformations. Ah, there we go. Anyway, it's properly done. So yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. Let's have a look at some of the details. So he's got a nice bright blue eye there. That is very nicely done, just in a metallic blue. That looks good. You can open the mouth, and opening the mouth does not reveal the robot mode head, so that's nice. I think for me, instead of that piece of rubbish downhill that we got, I would have liked a fire flame effect, because Slag is quite famous for the, you know, all the flames and the lasers and whatnot that come off him. Or is that, am I thinking snarl? Maybe it's more snarl with the fire, but I would have liked something just to, you know, have a nice little flame effect. I don't usually care for those, but since I'm having these in dino mode, I would quite like them. Anyway, as you can see, you've got some more details there revealed. Obviously you've got the whole of the rear dino mode leg there, so get a bit more detail on that. And got those faux feet at the top there. Nice gold paint. He's well painted. He is very well painted. Right, this dark gunmetal grey, it's very nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I prefer his dino mode over his robot mode. Blasphemy. But I kind of think the Dinobots spent almost all of their time in their dino mode, so that's the way I like to have them displayed. Comparisons again. Let's bring Grimlock in. And as you can see, they go pretty well together. I'm glad that they're keeping this pretty consistent with the colour of the paint and the plastic. Slag does seem to be a slightly darker plastic than Grimlock, but it's not jarring. If they keep up this colour matching so that all 5 of the Dinobots look the same, I'll be happy with that. So yeah, they look pretty good together. And here is G1 Slag again, so you get an idea there. Yeah. And just finally, because I know that some of you would like to do this, I won't, but if you want to, it's the same sort of peg and hole as Wheelie and Grimlock, so you just have to wangle this onto here. It's you have to spread the legs quite wide just to get it on, but it will go. And yeah, the faceless Daniel can ride atop Slag like he never did in the movie. Yeah, alright, if you like. Just, no, don't want it. So yeah, overall, as a figure on its own, I'm quite happy with it. Again, I would have maybe liked, well no, I would have definitely liked these horns to have been filled in. I mean, maybe I'm in the minority, but like I said in the cartoon, the Dinobots spend 99% of their time in their dino modes. So for me, that's the way it's going to be displayed, and I would imagine that other collectors would display them in dino mode. So to leave this like this is not really, it's not on really for the price. I mean, you know, 50 odd quid. I think these are going for like 50, 55, 56 quid in Smith's, which is just, it's stupid money now, it really is. But I bought Grimlock, so I want the whole lot now. So I guess I'm going to have to pay for it. But for that price, just please Hasbro, just stop giving us empty pieces of plastic like this. The rest of the dino mode is absolutely fine. Just this I'm not keen on. So I'll be getting something out for that. I don't know, maybe shove some milliput in it and just repaint them. But otherwise, he's pretty good. His robot mode is okay. I don't like that floating head. That's really stupid. I don't know how they ended up like that. But they did. The Daniel figure, that's... no. I don't care for that at all. Again, I'd rather not have it. I'd rather they just did the figure correctly in the first place and not give us pieces of rubbish that nobody asked for. I mean, even do it, but give us a face. I don't understand why he doesn't have a face. I just... anyway. Yeah, so... yeah, overall, he's pretty good. I can't wait to see what the remaining 3 turn out like. Assuming we get them. I hope we do. But, yeah. Yeah, kind of recommended. Recommended if you're okay with just, like, the little nitpicks. But, yeah. Right, so I think that's it. Next few videos are going to be dinosaur videos, just to carry this theme through a little bit. So yeah, there's some Jurassic World stuff coming up. But that's it for this one. Again, I am now on Discord, so if you would like to come and have a chat about this or any other figures, anything else that I review, do let me know and I will send you the link. But for now, that's it. As always, take care of yourselves. See you next time. Bye for now.